Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you one of our go-to autumn winter meals, which is this warming casserole stew type meal. I'm making it with beef in today's video, but if you're vegetarian you can completely skip this. You don't have to have meat with it because all of the vegetables really make this meal as well, or you can use a meat of your choice if you don't like beef. Just laid out all of the ingredients here for you, so if you do want to follow this recipe along you can just take a screenshot of all the ingredients here, but I will be talking through what I'm going to use. I've actually got this big packet of beef mince, but I'm not going to use all of it for this because, like I said a minute ago, you don't even need a lot of meat in this because the vegetables really give it a lot of the flavour, so I'm just using half the packet today. You want to start off with a little bit of oil in your saucepan just to fry the onions and leeks and things like that, so I'm going to chop those up. You will see in this video that I'm keeping everything quite chunky. I quite like the vegetables to be sort of quite big in this, but I mean if you've got fussy kids you can chop them up a bit finer and stuff. I'm also grating a little bit of garlic in with this. So you want to have it on sort of like a medium to low heat just to brown the onions and stuff. So they're going to go in the saucepan first. And just keep that on a medium heat and stir them round in the oil for a little bit until they soften, and you can put the lid on it just to saute them while you get the meat ready. And then you want to brown the beef off just for a couple of minutes before starting to add the vegetables. Stir the beef in with all of the leeks and onions and just brown all that off for a couple of minutes, again keeping it on a medium-low heat. You can put the lid on it while you prepare your vegetables. So I'm going to start just with the celery and carrots, and as I said before, keeping it all quite chunky, but if that's too sort of obvious, if you've got fussy eaters, you can make it a little bit finer. I'm going to chop the mushrooms, swede and pepper, all ready for once the beef has browned off a little bit. Here is what all the vegetables look like ready to go in the saucepan. So your beef should look a little bit browner now, and then you can begin adding some of the vegetables in. I actually usually make this in a cast iron casserole dish, but I was cooking a roast dinner that night and I needed it for the chicken, so this saucepan does get a little bit overflowed soon. You can also put this in a slow cooker, this recipe, if you like using that. I'm not a massive fan of slow cookers, I do prefer to cook it on the hob. So just add all those vegetables in, and then you want to add 500 ml of your chosen stock. I have used beef today, but you can use vegetable or whatever one you want. Then a big spoonful of tomato puree and your chosen seasoning. I'm just going to be using a bit of oregano today. Then stir that all in, and you want to bring it to the boil and make sure all the rest of your vegetables are in it, like the swede and pepper and all that stuff. I'm also going to be adding some lentils in. I definitely added too many lentils when I made this. If you don't like lentils or any of the vegetables that I'm saying, you can just skip this step, but I find that lentils just give it, thicken that sauce a little bit, but I definitely did put a bit too many in. I also add just a spoonful of gravy granules, again to make it a little bit more like of a sauce. to make the liquid thicker. It should look a little bit like this. Once the liquid's in, if you want to, you can bring it to the boil, like turn the heat up to a high. It shouldn't take too long because it's been cooking for a little while. Once you brought it to the boil, the secret to this is to cook this low and slow. You want it cooking for a good couple of hours, especially if you're using beef, but whatever meat you choose, it will taste so much better if you cook it on a slow heat. So just if you're in your kitchen or if you're at home, just leave it on a really low heat and stir it frequently just to stop it from catching, and it will make all those flavours set in. This is also a really good one if you make it like I have. There'll be loads left over, so it can make a couple of nights' meals, and it's just a really good one to come back to in a couple of days' time because the flavours have all set in. And it's really versatile because you can have it with mashed potato, or you can serve it with rice, whatever you want really, or you could even have some French stick with it and stuff like that. We like to have it with mash or rice. Today I'm serving it with a little bit of both. So yeah, it's a really warming, hearty meal, and it's packed full of veggies. We always go to this meal in the autumn-winter months, and it's really lovely and filling and just packed full of good stuff. Hopefully you've enjoyed this recipe video. Give it a big thumbs up if you have. Leave me a comment, let me know if you're going to try this recipe or what your go-to winter meal is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!